So one cool thing that we're doing to kind of accompany the release of this album is we are producing a songbook so that people can read and play along and play the songs themselves. And I've always been really into that sort of idea. I've had tons of music books over the year. When I was first learning guitar, I probably had like a Weezer book or something, and was learning these songs. And I've always been so fascinated by the idea that you can have an album in a book and play along to it. I'm sure you've had some similar experiences that kind of, motivated us to do that. Do you feel like you
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so much of my musical education, I did, I had music classes in school and everything, but so much of my time was spent at home, whether in a book or I would use, the internet and find guitar tabs and learn my favorite songs.
Realize that nobody knew how to tab out a song
correctly.
You
eventually get good enough you can catch other people's mistakes, but having that, that resource was so important to learning the songs that I wanted to play and developing my own style, like I suppose maybe eventually with trial and error I could have figured some stuff out, but having that little, almost a shortcut to get really acquainted with what's going on in those songs I enjoyed, that gave me the inspiration. There's a lot of Chet Atkins songs I learned through tabs I found on the internet. And that influenced my playing style today because I had, it might not have been perfect, but a lot of them were pretty good. And I got to just see, those are the notes. That's what I got to accomplish. Often it was way beyond my level at the time, but it gave me something to work toward and eventually became a huge part of my style. And so I guess I'm hoping that by paying it forward a little bit, we keep it pretty simple just because we really want to make it accessible.
Yeah.
And our songs aren't that complicated. But I hope that other people can learn our songs and use that as inspiration to make their own too, because that's partly maybe the philosophy of this band.
Yeah, I feel like we're taking from a sort of songbook in a way, this great kind of canon of country music. And there's something really interesting to me about having the album exist outside of the recording, and someone can have their own version of that album that they play themselves. And I think that's really, really cool. It can kind of outlive the album itself in a lot of ways. Like so much music, especially in this country music tradition, was passed down orally or, through,
like
just
sheet music. We don't think about it a lot, but sheet music used to be the only way you could transport music long distances and play songs you've never heard before.
And all the roots of country music are in that, in America, that style of music. It predates recording technology.
Yeah. We're kind of working in that tradition.